I wouldn't technically categorize myself as an actress because I've come in a few local productions, but if I had to choose between the two, I'd most definitely choose singing because I'm passionate about it.
Just found out that my immune system is not that strong. Stop it, baby, stop lying.
I personally think it has certainly added a different dimension of values overall. Being a model up on stage, one needs to have the right balance of sex appeal, attitude and oomph to showcase the designer's outfits. And it's no easy task working the entire stage in 4+ inch heels. So being a performer, I think it has certainly boosted my confidence level. It wasn't a situation like that to begin with. How it all occurred was I was looking for an apartment and the landlady, while signing the agreement, she casually asked me whether I knew anyone who could sing. And I think I probably was about 17 years of age, and at 17 one really doesn't know which direction one needs to take. So very casually and jokingly said that I had sung in a couple of choirs, church and school, and maybe I can audition. And without any hesitation she said, I think yes, you should audition, Natasha. And the next week I went for the audition, and well, the rest they say is history.
Maybe one day we could say that this was just another phase, but 2 years and 2 months can hardly be.
The pros are that it gives me immense gratification to know that I'm accepted and appreciated for my talent and music in general, and that fuels me even further to pursue this subject. Whereas cons, I would say, whether we like it or not, we will always be in the shadow of India and other dominant neighboring countries, and it takes so much more for an artist like myself to be heard. In fact, we have to work twice or thrice as hard to be noticed. And since Sri Lanka is a developing country, people out there overlooks the fact that there are potentially good musicians in this region. I guess if one doesn't try, one wouldn't know, right? Well, the fact that I come from a very exotic location geographically, and if taken in the right context, it can work as a great beneficial factor. And the other is my music, my talent, and of course my personality. Well, performing live is the fact that you're surrounded by a whole surround system of sound, the ambience, the venue and the audience, the energy that's generated by the audience that makes you want to get up there and do your thing. But performing in a studio is a whole level of understanding for me right now. I still haven't kind of mastered it, though I've sung a few times in the studio, but in the process of mastering it. But if I had to choose between the two, I'd most definitely choose a live performance over a recording. How is it working with Aslan? Well, it's very easy working with him because he has a clear direction of where our music needs to go. Working with Aslan has been a very, very pleasant experience. He's a very talented individual who I've had the pleasure of working with early this year, and I think we go way back with regard to our families, but it's only when I started working with him I realized how talented he was. And so we have a great chemistry, working chemistry, and good friends as well. The right balance of energy is required, and he brings that element to the production. And I must say overall it's been a wonderful pleasure working with Aslan, and he's extremely very talented, so I would encourage everyone to watch out for some great productions.
Just 'cause I am got a plastic doll with a whole lot on my
Well, quite a few musical influences, I must say, starting from Randy Crawford, Chaka Khan, Indiari, Erykah Badu, Alicia Keys. They all represent soul in their music, and they talk about real life incidences in their music. They're just real women. Well, all of them represent sultry voices in general, and if I had to pick one of them, I'd probably pick all. But that's being a little optimistic. But it would be nice to collaborate with one of them at least. And I don't generally restrict myself from any genres. I listen to anything and everything. Soul, funk, jazz, blues, R&B, pop. It doesn't matter really, as long as it's music.
take control of my whole life again. Get up on my feet.
Yes, of course, like any other country, there is a Sri Lankan music industry that's, I would say, predominantly dominated by Oriental and Indian music. And Sinhalese is not a language that is understood by the world population, so the need for English original material is really less. And there's only a very small percentage in Sri Lanka that really listens to English material.
Cause me bang. I need a break from the sex and the love and the false promises you made. So take me
Well, both tracks happen almost simultaneously, although we've finished Get Up on My Feet. Glamour Lady is still in post-production stages. Talking about Get Up on My Feet, again, it's a very empowering message. The chorus is what's empowering about it. Well, Glamour Lady is a song that talks about me in general because of the background that I come from. I come from a fashion-oriented background and a musical background, so the perception that people generally have, or the notion that people generally embrace, is the fact that if you're a model, you're easy. Well, not generally the case. So the song talks about you can look but you can't touch, and just because I do what I do doesn't mean that it doesn't give you the right to judge me or get with me in that league. It's all about respect at the end of the day. I personally feel that women are in control to a certain degree, at least the ones who've been exposed to society. And it's not for me to judge whether or not they should be portrayed in that manner. I think we all have a conscience, and we all know what's right and wrong, and we all know the choices that would take us forward. So you really can't blame the media. You really can't blame that medium in general. It's up to the individual to decide whether or not she wants to do productions of that nature. At the end of the day, it's your choices that makes you who you are. So I personally think it's an individual's choice.
45 days are gone, and I know you ain't coming back home, that's for sure. It's not like I've been waiting for.
Most definitely, I'd like to use my influence and power to highlight that issue. And besides that, that's the stance I'm taking through my music, to empower women. And personally, I don't think being submissive is categorized as a weakness. Although as Asian women, I think we need to find the right balance of submission and apply it into our day-to-day living and lifestyles in general. Failing to do so is when issues arise. So I think as Asian women, we need to find the right balance of submission and apply it into our work, school, social and domestic environments. I think we should be good then.
I need to burn my credit cards, 'cause I just remembered everything I ever gave to you. Why did you play me, boy? Do you hear me, boy?
What I'd like to give back to Sri Lanka, recognition, hopefully placing Sri Lanka on the world map in terms of music. My long-term vision has always been to utilize the talent that I've been restored from above to elevate someone's life. And I personally think this is my time, and hopefully, I don't know 10 years from now where the tide would take me, but so we'll see how it goes.